Hello there, welcome to Cabbage Patch Soap. My name is Laura, and today we are making the vanilla cupcake scented soaps, and we will also be cutting the lemongrass soap. And, oops, just getting my chat set up here real quick. Hope you guys are all having a really great week. Let's see. I'm sorry, it's just taking me a minute to get the chats going here. There we go. Okay. All right. Just double checking. All right, there we are. Okay, that looks like it's working now. I'm going to grab my gloves and the stick blender, and we will start cutting the soap. All right. Oops, bumped the camera. Sorry about that. All right. Let's see. I guess I gotta straighten it out again. There we go. Okay. Hi, Stacy. Welcome. Yeah, you see what I mean about the yellow lightening up? Isn't it interesting how it does that? It's just the yellow, typically. At least from the ones I've used, it seems to only be yellow that does that. Just getting on my gloves real quick so that we can take these soaps out. Hi, Francis. Welcome. Oh yeah, guys, don't forget to post your channel names and any other social media, anything you want to share, so that we can go subscribe and support your channel. I'm just going to grab, let's see, we'll get this cup here. I want to divide off some of the batter for something, so make sure we have that ready. And in fact, I'm going to get one more thing. I was going back and forth about this. I think I decided to do it, so I need one of the colors. I just pull it down real quick. No, let's see. I think I'll use a different one. I probably should have decided all of this earlier, but a better idea has just come to mind. So I will go with the better idea. Let's see. This is it. Yep. Got it. Okay. Okay. So I'll show you what my idea was when we get to making the soap. All right. I'll see what you guys are saying here. Let's see. Having to chat from your phone as your laptop is cutting a pattern on your Cricut. Oh, nice. What you making? Those Cricuts look like a lot of fun. I don't have space for one, but there's been times where one would have come in handy for something or another. Okay. I am going to pull out the soap here and take it out of the mold real quick. Oopsie. This soap is really soft. I'm trying not to dent it too much. This probably could have sat for another day, but it'll be fine. There we go. Okay, so that's how it looks. You can see the little lines on the side there. And because of that, I think what I'll do is I'll leave this bar in here until Monday, and we'll take it out then, just because it is a little bit softer. I decided against putting this in the oven to gel because I was hoping to keep that yellow a little bit brighter. And sometimes when you do that, the soap takes longer to firm up, as it did in this case. So I think that is why it is so much softer. See what you guys are saying. Oh wow, you were able to give your dogs a bath with the soap and it worked really good. I'm glad. That's really awesome. It's good to know because, like I said, just because something works for me doesn't mean it's going to work for someone else. So I'm really glad that that worked out well. Hopefully they feel softer too. Now that's one thing that I always like is the way that the cats and dogs feel after you bathe them. They feel so clean. You're working on a tumbler for Wanda to give to her mom for Christmas. Oh, how cute! Only at 37%. Wow. Well, it's better that than doing it by hand. I wouldn't want to cut that out by hand. What an opportunity for me to mess up something. So, okay, I'm going to carefully line this up, and this will cut through no problem. At least that's what I'm anticipating. I'm just hoping that I don't. I'm trying not to dent the bars. That's why I'm pushing back. This is really soft. Okay, so let's see if I can. Yeah, these bars really should have sat another day. I think I'll. I hate to do that, but I also don't want to mess them up. Okay, so here's how it came out. And now these swirls are not as dramatic as some of the others that I've seen, but they do have the little spikes of the grass growing up, which is what I wanted it to look like. So I'm really happy with how this turned out. The yellow is a little bit paler, but it's not nearly as bad as if I had gelled it. So it got to keep that nice bright yellow. And this is gonna need some time to cure for sure. I mean, this is how soft it is. It's like Play-Doh. I could probably take this bar and just smush it like that. That's how soft it is. So we're gonna give this time to cure for sure. Um, so that's the first bar. This is the next one. Oh yeah, this is how the top looks. It's got like the grass going on it. Oh, that looks nice. So see, this is how it's supposed to look with the spikes going up. But it feels like when you're doing it, it almost feels like you're doing way too many swirls, but you're not. Um, Probably could have stood to have a few more done, but that's okay. So we got the really cool looking grass. That's really pretty. You guys like it? Yeah, like butter, Stacy. Exactly. Let me see here. Asked Dewey if he wanted me to get him some of that soap to give him a bath. Told me he was good. Are you sure? How does he know unless he's tried it? Okay, here's this. Yeah, look how soft. I'm trying to clean up the edges, but I think I'm just denting them. So that's that one. So I really like how this came out. As far as like the design worked how I wanted. I'm glad we got the little spikes. Looks like grass, so that's what I wanted. We're gonna have to use this design for something else. We'll have to find something that it'll look cute on because that was pretty fun and actually kind of simple. Here's the end pieces, and actually the end pieces ended up being more dramatic than some of the bars. Kind of interesting. I wonder if it has to do with the size of the swirl tool that I used. I might have to make another. I have more of those like bent stick things, and I might have to try one without a straw in it to see if we get a different result. Oh, sorry. Here we go. There. You want some of the lemongrass? Awesome. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna have to definitely have to let this cure. Like it's so soft, I'm afraid to put it on the rack because it might sink through the bars. I'm gonna grab some parchment paper real quick to set it on. I think that for the first like couple of days, it should sit on some parchment paper. Um. Oh man, this smells good though. It smells even better after having sat. Like a lot of times these fragrances you use them, and as you're taking them out of the bottle, Like they smell good, but after they've been mixed in with the soap and they've had a day or two to sit, they smell even better. And this is one of them. So let me go grab that parchment paper. Okay, we've got the parchment paper. And let me put on a new set of gloves. So there's the paper. And I'm going to put that on the shelf, and then I'm going to put the soap on top of that. All right. So let me go put this on the shelf real quick. There we go. And then, like I said, this will probably be fine in a day or two, and then I can put them on the rack. But this is part of the reason why I do the oven method, where I set them in the oven, is so that um, so they're not as soft later on when you go to cut them. And it just helps them cure a little bit quicker. So there's that one. And then the M pieces. And then I'm going to leave that individual bar in there because when I was pulling the mold to check it, um, I'll show you what I mean in a second here. So here's the mold. And when I pull it away, like pull the sides back from the mold and I push underneath to pop it out, it was moving, but the soap itself was giving rather than there was like give to the soap rather than it popping out. So I'm pretty sure that it's if I was to pull it out, it would be a big mess. So I'm going to leave it in here, give it another day or two to cure, and then we can pull it out safely. So let me just set the soap aside. And then once I pull that one out of the mold, we will have, I'll go ahead and wash off that other soap. I've got my other one here that we can use for any side bits of soap. And let's go ahead and wipe off the cutter so I can put it back. Let me see what you guys are saying real quick. Ocean colors would look good with that pattern, blues and white. Yeah, for sure. I have some of those ocean scents still I want to use when it gets closer to summer. Remind me and we can do like a ocean waves or something cool. Okay. I think the only downside to that swirl, and every swirl, no matter what method you use, there's always going to be something, pros and cons basically to everything. And I think the only con is that you can't use it with like embeds because if you push an embed down into it, it messes up the spikiness. At least it would around the embed. And you can't do it after because the embed's in the way. Unless you put like the embed on one side and did spikes on the other. I don't know. So that's the only thing. You can put the embeds on top, I guess. All right. I'm going to close this. Yes, ocean colors would look amazing. That would be awesome. Yep. Ouch. Okay. Let me just set this aside. Okay. So, first of all, go over a couple of things. The first thing I wanted to talk about is the recipe that I use for the soap. I went ahead and changed up my basic recipe a little bit. It still has all the same things as before. Like it's basically the same recipe still. I just changed some of the ratios around a little bit and added almond oil, sweet almond oil. So we're going to try this and see what we think about it. And let me just grab it here. I think this will be. I'm trying to get a bar that I mean, I like no matter basically no matter what I use. Like so far, I've liked the recipes I've used, but I'm trying to come up with something a little bit different that I still really like. And I really have liked the bars that I've made that had the almond oil. So I want to see if this would work for a basic, like my basic recipe. And if so, then we'll go ahead and use that. So this is the recipe again, the same, all the same oils as before, but I've just changed some of the ratios around a little bit and then added almond oil. So we'll see what you guys think about it. Hi Wanda, welcome. Let me see what you guys are saying here. You're finishing a video. Awesome. I can't wait to watch it. Let me see here. Summer would be good. Give you time to think of some of the soaps. How to use some of the soaps you have now. Yeah. Never gonna run out. I know how that is. Got your hair serum and use it this morning. You love it. Oh, great. Good. I'm glad you like it. Yeah, that stuff just works. It works so good. And it'll last you forever. Those little bottles. You've got yourself like 2 years supply from 2 bottles, pretty much. Okay, so here's what I want to do because we are going to be doing the vanilla cupcake fragrance. And the vanilla, obviously, vanilla cupcake has a lot of vanilla in it, which will turn the soap brown. So, what I'm thinking is, I'm going to reserve some of the soap batter and put it off to the side. We'll give that a little bit of white and put it on top. So that we'll have the brown soap and then it'll have like white on top. And hi Barb, welcome. Can't wait to use it. Yeah, it's so nice. I hope you end up liking it. It's I'm always careful to give out like advice about like hair and stuff like that because everybody's hair is so different. But that's one thing that I've always had good luck with. So yeah, it does smell really good for sure. Yeah, they did a good job on the fragrance. It's not overpowering, but it smells nice. Okay, and it doesn't seem to clash with anything. So if you wear perfume, it's not gonna mess with that. Okay, so yeah, so I went ahead and I've changed my basic recipe. We're gonna try a few batches, see what we think of it, and then if it turns out to be a good thing, then I will continue. And I always like to always like change and improve things as I go. And like I said, the other recipe was really good. My basic recipe that I was using before, it was an improvement from my original basic recipe. And so every time I try, like we try a new recipe or try something different, I see how I like it and see how it might be able to benefit my basic recipe. So that's what this is. And let me just get my face shield on really quick. Take off this headset. Okay. You can't wear perfume, it gives you headaches? Yeah. Yep. I found that there were things that I was allergic to in certain perfumes, and it gave me such bad migraines. It would just knock me out the rest of the day. It was horrible. But you know what? I forgot to grab a mold. Let's get a mold because otherwise we'll have nothing to pour the soap into. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Had to assemble it real quick. Okay. Here we go. Well, nope. Let me grab another rubber band. Where did I put them? Here we go. Okay. I broke my rubber band. So this particular style of mold has one side that's removable so that it's easier to get the mold out. And or it's easier to get this pink liner out. Anyway, so it just goes like this. It just sits in here. And then you just hold it on with a rubber band. And I pulled the rubber band and broke it by accident. Okay, all better. All right, there we go. And that just holds that in place so that the soap can firm up in the mold. And then when I'm done, I can remove it. So, where was I? Right, we're gonna mix this together. Let me just see what you're saying real quick. Oh, you like the solid perfume and the roll-on? I'm glad you like those. Yeah, I like one thing I do like about the solid perfume is that it's a little bit more heat resistant. So if you have it in your pocket or something, it's less likely to melt. The roll-on perfumes are good too because they fit in your purse. They're kind of like I want to say they're kind of like lip balm where it's like the little round tube, but it's not. It's bigger than that. And I got soap crumbs on here somehow. Anyway, uh, they both work differently. And anyway, but I'm glad you like them. Let me see here. So you tried, yeah, I know. I saw you got that the one with the star showers, and you said you wanted to try if you see if you could wear it. Were you able to wear it because it's the same fragrance that goes in the soap, and it's just coconut oil, so there's no like none of that stuff that they put in perfume. I'm gonna go ahead and pour in the lye water real quick. Okay, and the lye water already has the sea salt and sugar dissolved into it. That's what you're hoping for. Good. Try putting it on like the inside of your wrist instead of like the base of your neck or whatever. Try that first. That way if it bothers you, you can get it off really easy. Um but if the fragrance on the soap, usually when somebody's allergic to something in perfume, it's almost always um something in the fragrance itself. That's why that's why I don't have any carnation fragrance because I am like very very allergic to the carnation. So if I use anything here with carnation in it, I'll be done the rest of the day. I have to sleep it off. I can't I literally can't function. I get so sick. So I don't have anything with carnation. And there's a couple other things that bother me. So um if I was to make a carnation like fragrant soap, I'd have to make the soap at the end of the day and literally like put it outside because I wouldn't be able to have it in the house and I'd have to go to bed and I wouldn't be able to yeah, but that's why I don't have it. It's not because carnations don't smell good or whatever, but that's so anytime somebody wears perfume with carnation, if they all they have to do is walk by me and it triggers a migraine. Um so usually that's what happens, and other times there'll be like an ingredient in the perfume like the something that makes up the base that makes people sick. So that could be it too. Or sometimes it's just because it's so strong. Like some perfumes are just, you know, way stronger than they need to be. Okay, this looks good. Let me just make sure. Okay, it looks fine. Um, Pomegranate fragrance is like that for you? Yeah. Let's see here. Welcome back, Wanda. Let me see. Yeah, how is your cousin doing? Gonna get these real quick to mix in the white. Said your granddaughter took um took your other roll on and some of the little bars and stuff. How cute. And pour this in here. Okay, so we're gonna use this on the top It's going to be white. I'm not going to put fragrance in this part because I want it to I want it to stay white. So we're going to see if this works. Sometimes this will work. Sometimes, yeah, we'll see what happens though. Because sometimes the darkening from the vanilla will seep up into the other colors around it. And sometimes not. But this way the soap will have some contrast. It won't just be brown. And also because I want to put something on top of the soap. I'm just getting the soap batter out of the corners here. Okay. Okay, so see that's a lot lighter now than the other batch. Okay. Now we're just going to put the fragrance in here. I don't know if this is going to accelerate or not. We will see. But it smells good. It smells like baked goods, like vanilla. Well, it says vanilla cupcake, so that's pretty much what it smells like. And the problem with making this kind of soap is that it makes the house smell like you're baking something, and then people get disappointed when they find out they can't eat it. Now what I'm going to do, since this batter is not colored, I'm just going to carefully scrape all the raw soap batter up and make sure it's in here, because otherwise it'll be streaked with like uncolored mixed with colored, and I can't tell because it's uncolored right now. So okay, hopefully that's good enough. We're going to pour it in here. Let me smell it. Yep, yeah, it's vanilla cupcake. Okay, so we're going to pour it in here, and I'm going to scrape this off. And pour it in here. Another thing you can do if you make this, if you want to make a soap with a lot of vanillin or vanilla in it, is you can actually like split the batter in half and fragrance the whole thing, but split the batter in half, add white to one side and maybe like a brown or something so that it'll like brown evenly. And I'm just scraping the sides down and mixing it a little bit. But anyway, that way you could do like a swirl and you'll have like light and dark brown instead of just one brown color. So that is also something that you can do. Okay, I'm going to leave myself some space for the white. Put this down. Now, see if you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm going to put, well, I think that's probably fine, but let me put a little bit more. This looks like a custard. This smells kind of like custard, or like a vanilla pudding or something. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and put the white on top. Now the white's not scented, but the bar is still going to have a very strong like vanilla scent just because there's so much vanilla on the bottom part of this. So this won't affect like how fragrant the soap is. That won't matter at all. Oh good, looks like I saved just enough. Alright, good. Perfect. Okay. So now let me just tap this out. See, there's an air bubble right there. Okay. Alright, so what I wanted to do, and this is what I was going back and forth about, I was going to put something on top of this and decorate it. Oh, let me finish this first. And I wanted to do like maybe sprinkles or something because it's a cupcake, but then I thought it'd be really cute to do like this glittery stuff instead, and then I would just like do like a swirl pattern on top. So I'm going to go ahead and put this, this is the Sparkle White Diamond mica. I'm just going to put some on here. And then, so that's going to put some sparkles, but then I'm going to take this and then do like a little swirl pattern. And this will help that swirl pattern show up, but also it'll make the it'll just make the top of the soap a little bit textured, and it'll have the pretty mica kind of swirl through it now. So that's how that looks. Let me show you real quick. So that is the vanilla cupcake with the glittery sparkles on top. And then we're going to go ahead and put the rest in my mold for the individual bar. And then once I get this done, I can see what you guys are saying. Okay. Almost done here. See, it's like pudding. I try to get this to flatten out a little bit. There we go. And then we'll get this white, what's left of it, and plop it on top. And what we could do, since I've only got a little bit of white, is we'll do a swirl with it. And then when the soap cures, or at least sets up enough to take it out of the mold anyway, hopefully what we will see is a brown and white like swirl in this soap. So and then we need to vote on the other bakery type fragrances. I've got a bunch, and I'm going to make a little community poll thing for us to decide what we want to see next. Okay, there we go. So it doesn't look like much, but in theory, when this sets up, some of that white should have brown swirled through it. Okay, let's see what you're saying here. It looks so silky. Yeah. It does look like vanilla pudding, Stacy. Trying to get your nerves up to make your soap. Yeah, if you can do resin, you can do soap for sure. Yeah, it does need sprinkles. That's what the sparkly was meant to represent. So Wanda, don't be afraid of that soap. It's intimidating the very first time you try it, because I'm going to put some of these sprinkles on here. Because just like anything else, it's going to be a little bit like, oh, I've never done it before. But it's like resin, except that like as the soap, like when you melt the soap, as soon as it starts to cool off, it starts to solidify. So it's kind of like hot glue, like a hot glue gun. When the glue cools off, it starts to solidify. It's the same. It's like pretty much the same thing. So you just put some of that soap in a bowl. Just make sure it's microwave safe. I recommend using like maybe glass or something, or ceramic, or any, like, basically not plastic. Not for any particular reason, but um, I don't know. I'm always worried about using plastic with like the melted soap in the microwave. But anyway, and you just put it on for like 5-second bursts or so. And each time you stir it, and the first couple times you do it, it's not going to feel like it's doing anything. And then all of a sudden it'll start melting. And then you just add your colors and glitter and anything else you want and put it in the molds, and you're done. And you could do like you could take like a little chunk and just do like a test run, if you wanted. And as soon as it cools off, it's ready to use. It'll be solid and ready to use. And just make sure that when you unmold it, you wrap it in plastic wrap so that it doesn't start to attract like moisture from the air to your soap. Oh, looks like we got to ban somebody. Let's ban this person. Report. And let's report this one. There we go. How long does it stay hot? Um, it depends on like the temperature of your room, and that's another reason why it's a good idea to use like a ceramic bowl or something because they tend to hold the warmth a little bit longer than like plastic does. Um, I mean, you have a few minutes to work with it. The more that you make at once, the longer it stays warm. So if you only make a little bit, you got to work kind of quick. I would have everything like I'd have everything you planned like laid out. So like choose your mold, choose your glitters and colors, and have everything like ready to go on the table. And then once the soap is melted in the microwave, just bring it and set it down. Immediately add everything you want to add and pour it in the molds. And just like I said, like do a little bit the first time just to kind of get a feel for it. Um, it's not nearly as scary because and the thing is too is if something goes wrong like you get a phone call or something and you come back and the soap like that you melted and colored is like in the bowl still but now it's solid, just put it back in the microwave for a few seconds. You can melt it down more than once. So I don't recommend doing it over and over and over again because each time you do, it kind of it like weakens the integrity of the soap a little bit. So if you keep melting it two, three, four, 5 times, eventually it's going to get to a point where the soap, it looks a little bit cloudy. It doesn't like look as good as it did when you the first time you melted it and all that. But that I mean, once or twice isn't going to really hurt anything. And you can also another thing you can do is like the mold. You want to use if you can. For me anyway, the easiest thing to use is silicone molds like these. And rather than you can use like the hard plastic molds too. But I find that it's a little bit harder to get the soap out of those. You can put them in the freezer to get the soap out. That's what some people do. But what I like to do is just lightly spray the mold with rubbing alcohol. You can think of it like a mold release. It's just rubbing alcohol though. And you already have that anyway because you have it to clean up your resin. And you just do like one light mist and then pour the soap. And you don't want a whole lot because if the rubbing alcohol like pools up in the corners, it can make the soap soft on the corners. It won't hurt anything. The soap will just be slightly less pretty. That's all. Cricket is still at 71%. Wow. That's going to be really awesome when it finishes cutting. Yeah, we should do a soap collab. That would be awesome. Yeah, let us know how it turns out, Wanda. You should film it. Your first run making soap so people can see it's not so scary. And just and I would also add the fragrance after the soap is melted so that you're not microwaving the fragrance cuz the fragrances can kind of get funny if they get too hot in the microwave. But once the soap is already melted, it's fine. You can add it then. Yeah, there's a lot of cool things. I mean, pretty much all of your resin molds you can use for soap. So if you could even make earrings made out of soap if you wanted. Make all sorts of cool stuff. Just taking this face shield off real quick. There we go. But yeah, once I mean you have I mean you because when I sent you that soap, I was thinking what else can I send, and I realized besides the fragrance, you kind of have everything. You got resin and soap making are very closely related in that sense with all the molds and stuff like that. They use a lot of the same things. Especially the melt and pour, which is what I sent you. And that melt and pour is the ultra clear. So it's really, really good if you want to put like cute little things. And some people do cool stuff. So like for example, like if you wanted a bar that was this shape, they'll melt a little bit of soap and they'll put, let's say, like blue food coloring in it. Or not food coloring, excuse me, blue soap coloring in it, or blue mica, right? Blue mica. And they pour in a thin layer at the bottom. And then on top of that, they pour another layer that maybe has some glitter in it, right? And then they'll put like a little something there, like maybe you have like one of your like little resin charms that you made that you don't have any use for, like a snowflake, for example. Like maybe you made an extra resin snowflake, but you don't have anything to put it on. You set it down on top, and then you pour clear over the top of that. And then when it sets, you pop it out, and you've got this bar of soap that's clear on top that has a snowflake there, and underneath it is glitter, and then underneath it is the blue. And you've got like a layered, like three-dimensional soap that looks like, so basically it looks like it's snowing over, like the blue background with the glitter looks kind of like snow, and then you've got the snowflake charm, and it's really cute. And then as you use the soap, you get the charm eventually. I used to do that for children's soaps, and I would put those like erasers in there. So like I'd have holiday erasers that look like, Christmas trees or Santa or whatever. Um and I would do the layered soap like that. Like I'd put glitter down first or something, and then the eraser, and then the clear, and then it's supposed to encourage children to wash their hands. It's really cute for stocking stuffers. And then as they wash their hands, they eventually get the little eraser out. Cherub soap for Valentine's Day. Let me see what you're saying here. You're going to film it. That will be awesome. I'm gonna scroll back here, see what you guys said here. I'm an excellent instructor. Are you sure? I feel like I just ramble. I'm glad you're able to understand what I'm saying. Let's see here. Yeah, put cherubs in there. There you go. You could put like a um you could put like pink or red or something down first, and then glitter and cherubs and stuff for Valentine's Day, yes. Well, there you go. You can have little cherubs and angels, and you can have sugar skull soaps and everything. You can even get, since some of you guys have all these fancy printers and stuff, there are people will sometimes put like edible like paper in the soap, but there's another kind of soap that's meant, like the paper is meant to like wash off. It's like it dissolves in water, and they'll use that. So they'll have a design like printed on the paper, and they cut the design out, and then they still do the same thing with the layers. And like, so like let's say you find like a picture of like a winter scene with like a little log cabin and all this. You print it out and you pour your soap, and then you put like glitter, like clear glitter soap on top of that. So when you pop it out, you've got this winter scene where there's like the log cabin with the snow and everything, and then in front of it is a glitter like it's actually snowing. So it's like a little snow globe in a bar of soap. It doesn't, it obviously doesn't shake up because it's a bar of soap, but I mean, it's got the paper. And then the paper just dissolves in the water. So as you use the soap, it goes away. Little glittery sugar skulls. Yeah. In fact, Wanda, I know you have that mold that makes those little tiny skulls. You can make some soap and color it with something like a color that will be, I would say like a darker color maybe, so it shows up real easy. And then when you make the bar of soap, like if you have a mold that's kind of tall enough to fit the skull, you could put like glitter and then put the skull in. So basically you would make the skull first, pop it out. So the skull is like made out of soap, right? Pop it out, and then make some just clear melted soap, but put glitter in it. And then that way you can, when you put the glittery soap in, you put the skull in there, and then the soap bar will have a skull inside of it. It's like a 3D skull, and it's got glitter on the clear part has glitter, and then you've got that skull in there. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, snow globes are cool. I did make snow globe soaps once for somebody. They're a lot of work, so I don't make them like regularly, but you use a mold that makes the spheres, and you put the melt and pour soap in there, and you kind of like, I would tilt it and run it around the sides because I wanted a thin layer around the globe part. And I had to get it out without deforming it. I had to freeze it. Normally you don't want to freeze the soap because it makes it a little bit cloudy, but I had no other way of getting it out. And I had a little bit of glitter in there in that clear part that I put in there. So then I pulled that out of the mold, and then I made like a little soap base out of soap dough, and then I made like little Christmas trees and candy canes and things, and put it on the base, and then I put that clear soap globe over the top. So when you looked through, you could see through it, and inside you could see the little candy canes and stuff. So um there's lots of different things you do with the soap. It's just like I said, it's just like resin as far as like getting creative and whatnot. Works kind of the same way. Just make it in stages. If you want a bunch of like 3D elements in there, you can make like little trees and stuff out of the soap and then put them inside the melt and pour. But yeah, I'm excited to see what you come up with, see what video you make. But it's I should do some of these, Barb. I don't know. I don't have so the nice thing about the melt and pour, it's really fast to do in the microwave. It just takes, a few seconds, 5 seconds at a time, you stir it and it melts, right? Well, I don't have anywhere to put a microwave here. So um I would have to do a double boiler, and that takes about 45 minutes to melt down. So it would be incredibly time consuming. So that's why I don't use melt and pour very often. I have to have a really specific project to like want to put that much time into it. It was pretty cool looking. Yeah, I thought it was fun, and you can scent it too. So the snow globe or whatever you make is going to be scented if you want it to be. Yeah. Someday I'll get a microwave someday if it becomes convenient, but right now I don't know. Plus, I like to make all my own soap bases, and there is a way to make a melt and pour soap base by hand. It's just again, it's like a time consuming thing. It takes a lot of ingredients and a lot of work, and so I just don't know if I really want to pursue that because I just even when I had access to a microwave, I didn't do a whole lot of embeds. I did it at first, but then after a while I was like, well, you know, it's an expense because every embed you want to make, you have to buy molds for. And so basically every soap design I'd have to buy a mold for. So you can imagine like how fast, and then you have to find a place to put all those molds. And that was the problem I ran into. And that's why I had so many molds. And then you end up, the ones that you think you're going to use are the ones that you end up not using very often. And because for one reason or another, maybe nobody else likes them but me or whatever. And so it ends up being kind of a waste. So um, I think maybe I just wasn't making the right kind of soap to where people liked the embeds or something. But anyways, the hot glue pots. Could I put my soap in one of those to keep the soap melted? Um, I've never tried it. I've never tried it, Wanda. You could try putting a piece in there and see. But the soap, I mean, you want to once the soap is melted, you want to use it as quick as you can, just because the longer it stays melted, um, I don't know. I've never tried to keep it melted for a long time, but I just because of how soap is, I kind of imagine that leaving it melted for a long time like that would, depending on how long you're thinking of doing it, um, that I don't know. I would say try it with a small amount and see what happens. I'm just worried that it would make the soap sticky or something like when you go to finally pour it, because while it's hot, it's losing moisture and there's a lot of things that are happening to it. So the longer you keep it hot, I just imagine it would um, kind of break down the integrity of the soap a little bit. But I've never done it, so I don't know for sure. That's a good question. So I would say give it a shot and see. But I mean, really, as long as you kind of know what design you want to make with soap and you melt it and you have everything ready to go, more than likely you have plenty of working time. It's not like it takes seconds to dry. It does take a few minutes, and then once it's in the mold, you want to let it sit for like at least 20 minutes or so. It's depending on how big the bar is that you make, but I would give it at least 20 minutes before you pop it out. Um, and there's one more thing I was going to say about that. Oh, that's right. So, like, let's say you get a pot like this, like a glass one or whatever, or ceramic, and you've melted your soap down. You know how, like, when you make gravy, after a few minutes is setting, the gravy like forms like a skin on top. The soap does the same thing. So that little skin that forms on top actually kind of helps trap the heat in for the rest of the soap. So if you see that happening, just pull the skin off, and the soap underneath it will be liquid. Cricket is finally done. Awesome. We also love your heart that goes in your car. It smells so good. I'm so glad you like that. Those little car freshies are so awesome. I have one in my car. I have one that hangs from my lamp, and I've got a couple others around. I want to put some in the tree. I haven't decided what fragrance yet though. Oh, Stacy's making something. I don't know if I'm allowed to say in the chat. I don't know if she's doing it as a secret or not. Got one in your laundry room. It smells like cinnamon. Yum. Awesome. Yeah, laundry rooms are a really good place to put them. Or like if you have cats, you could hang one near their litter box to kind of freshen up that room a little bit. So long as it's a smell that doesn't bother the cats. Oh, Wanda knows. Okay, good. So we can talk about the vinyl she's cutting. Okay, well I gotta go put these. I'm gonna put these in the oven. It's totally fine if these um cure in the not cure but set up in the oven. That's totally fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and set them in there, and then I'm gonna go ahead and post. Oh, that's right. I wanted to talk about the fragrances really quick. 1 second. So we were talking about which food fragrances to do next, and I've got them sitting over here. Okay, so I pulled out the different food ones I've got. I've got blackberry vanilla. I've got cotton candy. I know that's not really a bakery scent, but I was trying to think of, what a bakery might sell or a candy shop or something. I have snickerdoodle. I have Colombian coffee, which I can imagine a bakery having coffee. Blueberry cobbler, coconut. And I know coconut's not a bakery scent really, but the coconut mixed with vanilla, or maybe the coconut mixed with like the vanilla cupcake might be good. And let me see what else I had. I had vanilla. Sorry. Okay, vanilla. Let me see. I have almond, and again, almond mixed maybe with the vanilla cupcake or something. I have black tea because, like the coffee, they might serve tea. Um, and possibly, I don't know, or people would just have tea with their baked goods, maybe. Blackberry vanilla. I think I already said that. Did I? No. Blackberry. Yes, I did. And cinnamon was another one. And I think, oh, and also banana. So banana again, not a bakery scent, but the vanilla cupcake or something mixed with the banana might smell like banana bread, maybe. So there's some creative things we could do. And same thing with the cinnamon. Maybe it would smell like cinnamon rolls. I don't know for sure. Almond coconut, yeah, that would be good. Yeah, you love coconut. It reminds you of the suntan lotion at the beach. Yeah, exactly. Let me see here. Yeah, blackberry vanilla. Yeah, that's blackberry vanilla is always very, very popular. Yeah, cinnamon vanilla sounds good. Yep. Yep, I love the almond. And there was one more that I had that it's definitely not a bakery scent, but it was called vanilla amber or amber and vanilla or something. Um, it's not at all a bakery scent, but it has those vanilla notes, and some people associate that with food. So um, that's a possibility. But this banana is really good. In fact, when I the first time I bought it, I liked it so much. I used most of it, and then um, yeah, it's banana. And then I bought another one because I was like, oh, for sure, I'm gonna use this, and it seems to be I'm the only one that likes banana scented soap. So, but it's good for like a tropical scent. Like I'll use it to blend it with other things. So like I did like a banana coconut once. That was pretty good. Or you do like a pina colada. Mix those with pineapple or something, and it smells really good. So what we'll do is I want to do like a poll, but the poll only lets me put like 4 or 5 items at a time. It doesn't let me do a whole lot of things. So maybe what we'll do is I'll space them out, and we'll choose which ones we want to make, and we'll just do them in order that they're voted on, like whichever ones get the most votes or something, and kind of go in that order loosely. Um, and then you guys want to let me know what you think about doing like a coffee and tea scented, if you think that's too off topic or not. But the coffee is good, and also the coffee maybe mixed. The vanilla cupcake, of course, is like now going to become this base, but vanilla and coffee, or vanilla coconut and coffee, or not vanilla coconut. I'm sorry. Vanilla cupcake and coffee might be good also. Hi, Ian. Welcome. Yeah, there's a lot of choices, and then when you start mixing things, the choices multiply. You like the coffee idea? Ian came in just as we were ending. We're talking about possible coffee soap. I thought he liked the coffee. Not sure what black tea smells like. It smells to me exactly like Earl Grey. Um yeah, it's kind of like Earl Grey, sort of like that. Smells good. Smells like a cup of tea, but there's no milk or sugar, just like the tea itself, like black tea. So those are the options, and then we can always add things to them. Like the coffee, I could possibly get some coffee and add coffee grounds to it for scrubby. Um, that's a pretty common thing. Or trying to think what else I could add. We could add scrubbies or clays to any of these. So there'll be some options to kind of mix them up. But all of these, pretty much all of these fragrances have vanilla in them, and they will definitely turn the soap brown. So that's why I was saying if we do this, then it's going to limit the kind of designs we can do. So like just to give you an example, this is what the blueberry cobbler looks like, and it's not even in the soap yet. So, but it smells amazing. It smells so good, but it's definitely a dark fragrance that darkens the soap a lot. Yeah, I like black tea. I like black tea a lot, but yeah. So the tea, and it smells good in the soap too. It smells very I want to say fresh. I always say, oh, it smells so fresh. It's like that kind of is such a broad term. It has a it's different though. It's different from like I don't know, it's a very clean smell, very um hmm, not sure how I would describe it. I might have to look up the description to kind of give you guys a better idea, but I've made this soap before and it does smell really nice. I like how it smells. So, okay, I'll go ahead and I'll probably, like I said, I'll space the poll out, maybe do one a day so that we can kind of get all of these fragrances in there. But I'm going to go ahead and put the soap in the oven and um, get that started so that we can cut it on Monday. And I think that's everything. I don't think I'm forgetting anything else. So I will see you guys all soon. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and have a great rest of your week and weekend. And I'll see you all soon.